You know that moment after a workplace conflict when the meeting ends, the emails stop, and everyone goes back to their desks, but you're left carrying this heavy storm cloud over your head? Maybe your chest feels tight, your mind keeps replaying the argument, or you suddenly feel drained and snappy with people who had nothing to do with it. That's the reality of bad moods triggered by workplace conflicts. They don't stay contained in the room where the disagreement happened. They follow you, bleed into your workday, and sometimes even into your evenings. So the real question isn't just how to handle conflict itself, it's how to process the bad mood that lingers after. Because if you don't, you risk letting one disagreement poison your productivity, your relationships, and even your health. Let's break this down into steps. Practical ways to process those moods so they don't end up processing you. Recognize what's actually happening. Most of us, when we're in a bad mood, either deny it or try to push it away. I'm fine, we tell ourselves when we're very much not fine. Here's the thing, moods are signals. That heaviness you feel after conflict isn't just random, it's your body and mind alerting you that something needs attention. The worst thing you can do is ignore it, because unprocessed moods have a sneaky way of leaking out in sarcasm, passive-aggressive emails, or silence that feels like punishment. So start by labeling it. Say to yourself, I'm feeling resentful. I'm feeling drained. I'm feeling angry. Naming the mood is like turning on a light in a dark room. It doesn't solve everything, but it helps you see what's there. Separate the conflict from your identity. One reason bad moods hit so hard is because conflicts at work don't just feel like disagreements over tasks or projects. They often feel personal. When someone questions your idea, your competence, or even your tone, it can feel like they're questioning you. That identity hit is what leaves us brooding long after the conflict is over. Here's a mindset shift. Not every disagreement is a verdict on your worth. Sometimes it's just two people with different information, priorities, or stress levels colliding. If you can separate the conflict from your sense of identity, the mood doesn't stick as deeply. Ask yourself, is this about me as a person, or is this about the situation? More often than not, it's the situation. Get curious about the mood. Bad moods are uncomfortable, but they're also full of data. Instead of rushing to fix the feeling, pause and get curious. Ask, what is this mood trying to tell me? Anger might be pointing to a boundary that felt crossed. Resentment might highlight that you don't feel valued. Sadness could reveal that you care deeply about being respected at work. When you look at moods as messengers, you shift from fighting them to learning from them. That curiosity alone takes away some of their power. Reset your physiology first. Here's the truth. You can't think your way out of a bad mood if your body is still on high alert. After a heated exchange, your nervous system is likely flooded with adrenaline and cortisol, the fight or flight hormones. That's why you can't concentrate, why your heart is pounding, or why you feel restless. The fastest way to process the mood is to calm the body. Take a brisk walk, even if it's just down the hallway. Do a few deep breaths where your exhale is longer than your inhale. Splash cold water on your face. These are not cliches, they're biology. When the body calms, the mind follows. And only then can you decide what to do with the conflict instead of reacting blindly. Reframe the narrative. Here's a trap we all fall into, replaying the conflict like a broken record. She was so disrespectful. He never listens. I should have said this. I can't believe I stayed quiet. That mental loop keeps the bad mood alive long after the event. Instead, try reframing the narrative. Ask, is there another way to see what happened? Maybe that colleague wasn't trying to disrespect you. They were under deadline pressure. Maybe your boss's blunt tone wasn't about you at all. It was about the problem they were stressed over. Reframing doesn't excuse bad behavior, but it gives you options. It allows you to choose a story that lowers your emotional charge instead of fueling it. Choose your next move wisely. Once the mood has settled a bit, you face a choice. Do you let the conflict go, or do you address it? If it was a small clash, someone's sharp tone, a minor disagreement, it may be best to let your mood pass and move on. If it was bigger, something that threatens your ability to work effectively, it might need a follow-up conversation. But here's the key. Never decide while you're still emotionally raw. Let the mood pass first, then ask, what outcome do I actually want? If the outcome is better collaboration, you'll approach the conversation differently than if your only goal is to prove you were right. Build micro resets into your workday. Conflicts will happen, bad moods will follow. The real skill is learning to bounce back faster each time. That's where micro resets come in. Step outside for 5 minutes of sunlight. Keep a reset playlist of songs that shift your energy. Practice a 2-minute mindfulness break where you close your eyes and just notice your breathing. These tiny practices aren't luxuries. They're strategies for emotional survival in environments where stress and conflict are part of the landscape. Protect your energy long term. If you're constantly finding yourself in conflicts that leave you in bad moods, it may be a sign of a deeper issue. Maybe it's the culture of your workplace. Maybe it's a colleague with a toxic pattern. Or maybe it's your own habit of overextending yourself without clear boundaries. In the long run, the best way to handle bad moods is to reduce how often they're triggered in the first place. That might mean setting clearer boundaries, improving your communication skills, or in some cases, rethinking whether your current environment is the right fit for your well-being. Bringing it all together. Here's the bottom line. Workplace conflicts are inevitable, but letting them hijack your mood for hours or even days is optional. When you recognize what's happening, separate the conflict from your identity, get curious about the feeling, reset your body, reframe the story, and then choose your next move, you stop being at the mercy of your moods. Instead, you use them as information to grow stronger, wiser, and calmer next time. Because handling bad moods isn't just about feeling better, it's about showing up as the version of yourself that conflict couldn't shake.